Okay, so I'm gonna get right into some numbers. So we did a brief overview last week of the market, and I'm not going to do that again. And I also know that that's changed drastically since last week. So what I'm going to do today is a little deep dive into Barrhaven and Riverside South for those of you in those areas, or, this is just a good, it's good knowledge for the city to see what's going on, because this is important stuff here. So in the last week, in the last 7 days, in Barrhaven, there, have been, excuse me, sorry, I thought I had that page there. There have been only 9 sales of detached homes. Okay. The average price, although a bit skewed by a big one, I will say that, is just over $1 million. Well, $1,100,000. Average days on market is 11. That's what happened in the last week. So that's pretty big numbers. Conditional sales right now, there's currently 4 conditionally sold. The average price is $760,000 at 11 days on market. But there are 87 detached homes for sale. And now that's not all in the last week, but that's what's currently active. So, and that's an average of 25 days on market. So now you can see what we've been talking about for the last little while is just really starting to show its face right now. Those numbers are changing every week. More days on market. Prices are still similar, but they're dropping a bit with all these new listings coming out. And now we have it in townhomes and semi-detached. We have an average sale price, 19 sold. We have an average sale price of $656,000 with an average of 16 days on market. Okay, so that's coming up again. We have 1 conditional sale that was on the market for 11 days, and we currently have 66 townhomes for sale in Barrhaven, Riverside South, with an average of 21 days on the market. And the average list price is $700,000. So that is big to me, because that average list price is down from what it was. Big time. I'll get into the last one here. Condos, apartments, or stacked towns in Barrhaven, Riverside South. 1 sold in the last week, on the market for 15 days. And that was a stacked town, listed at $500,000, sold for $460,000. So now those started selling in the 450s, last summer, maybe last fall, I guess. And they went up into the 5s, and now this one's back 460. So that's interesting to see. Kind of falls in line with what I was saying last week about pricing your property. You might want to look at the prices from last fall to price your property accurately in the market this June. And the average listings, 19 days on market for the current listings of stacked towns and apartments in Barrhaven, Riverside South. So again, like Torep's been talking about, everyone. Torep, we spread the word. We spread the word. You listen to us. If you don't listen to us, you always come back and you're like, you know what? Torep said that. Torep has the information. And that was that, we're creeping up on 20 days on market is around the corner, 30 days guaranteed. And I said, I predicted 30 days by the end of summer. I think that might come sooner. So, because I think when summer comes around, people are fed up and they're going to be like, peace, I'm on vacation.
So to summarize, Greg, you said in Barrhaven, Riverside South, in detached homes, 9 sold, 80 listings, town semis, 19 sold, 66 listings, condos, 1 sold. I didn't catch how many listed, but
19 listings, 19 listings.
So you've got a multiple of 8, just almost 9 on detached, of 6 on, or 3 rather, on towns, of like multiples of sold to listings. So you've got 9 times the amount of sold per week right now. Really, like at that, would you not say that you really need to be, if you're a seller or if you're an agent, that you really, really need to be cognizant of how many are out there? We talked about,
yes.
You and I talked about it last week about the marketing aspect and being aggressive on that side. But what do you, for those realtors, like I know you just said, look back to last year's pricing almost. But at 9 times the amount of listings to solds, like you really have to be aggressive on your pricing and aggressive on your marketing strategy.
And so, that's a good question, Dave. I meant to mention this and I forgot. So I'm glad that you followed up and asked me what I wanted to say. So the average list to sales price ratio right now is sitting right around 100%. So they're not going for what they were. And this is another thing that we predicted on TowRep, that this was coming up probably around this time. And yes, the ones that have sold, most of the ones that have sold close to list price were on the market for a short amount of time and they were presented very well. The ones that sold that took longer to sell all sold for under list price. Not too far under list price, but they sold for at least, like maybe 10 to 25,000 under list price. So, and I didn't go super deep on some of these. Some of those may have been price reductions already to begin with, because that's something that we're seeing a lot more of is price reductions.
I mean, it certainly does. I mean, it matters who you work with in this, in markets like we're entering and territory that we're entering, where there is a lot of competition out there for listings. If you're selling your home, it really does matter. And knowing what their strategy is to get your property listed, and what they're investing even into that listing, whether that be staging, cleaning, getting your house ready, make sure it looks like superb. Because when you have that much competition, it makes such a big difference. You don't want it to sit for a lengthy period of time. Otherwise, you're going to be well under that list price or getting nervous of whether you're going to sell in time for that closing.
You have to. And we're staging a vacant property right now because we know that it's going to be challenging. And that was one of the key factors for us getting this listing in Barrhaven, because they were like, you know what? The other people didn't offer to stage. They said the commission rate was the same. They didn't offer to stage, and you guys offered to stage. So it was like, even though I know the numbers for this property is kind of like, it's close, I'm like, I'm all in full service, because that's how you're going to get the business. And that's what people want to work with now coming in. And that goes to my next point, saying that I also predict with these changes happening, that the full service realtors, even the ones that may do a discount at some point, because there's been a lot of that going on, because everyone's been like, oh, you guys are making money hand over fist, it's so easy, and for a lot of people it has been. But the full service realtors like myself, we've always been of the mind, like we've always provided the same type of service, but right now it's going to be more important than ever, if you're a seller, to be working with someone that's actually going to be, doing the video, doing the promotion on Instagram and Facebook, like Google AdWords, whatever, having the website that gives access to it, maybe, supplying virtual open houses as well as an open house every Sunday until it's sold, like all this stuff, and have the team behind you to make sure that your property is being reported and that they're getting updates every week showing the numbers of exactly where it's going. And people are going to want to pay that full commission of what it used to be. The traditional 5% in Ottawa is what used to be traditional. It's changed over the past few years. A lot of agents still do charge that for the full service. And now I think more than ever, it's going to come back. And a lot of the brokerages that don't do that and haven't really had to, because of the fact that things have been selling so quickly, I think that they're going to have to change their model slightly. They're either going to have to offer bigger incentives, or they're going to have to switch to more full service, instead of just doing the old, we'll drop our commission rate and put pictures on and put your sign on your listing on MLS, and that's it. Because they're going to know that that's not the way to sell. It's going to go back to a more traditional style, I think.
Thanks for tuning in, everyone. We hope you enjoyed today's episode. Please remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe, because we'd really like that.